What's up, my loves? This is another episode of Keeping It Real with Jess J. This is the review for Married to Medicine, the reunion. I'm going to go ahead and combine all of my thoughts into one video. So let's get right into it. At first, the reunion started off very, very slow, and I was kind of like, this is why they're dragging it into various parts. Because in my opinion, it probably could have been one episode. But anyway, I agree with Contessa out the door that there should not have been a celebration. I said, slow down, Jay. There should not have been a celebration for paying your taxes. It's just like being an adult. It's like, okay, let's celebrate me going to work. Let's celebrate me taking care of my kids. Let's celebrate me taking care of my spouse. Let's celebrate me taking care of my house. Like it's a requirement, and so I think that people would not have had such a strong opinion if they would have done a more frugal celebration, because it's like you're celebrating getting out of debt, and he had this big ass event to celebrate it. So it was like, anyway, Toya and Eugene definitely seem to practice habits that exceed their means, and that's not going to be a good look long term. So it might be something that they want to consider mending very soon. Definitely more sooner than later. Heavenly trying to be a better person on a spiritual journey. How can I say this nicely? Because I like Heavenly, but she's had repeated behavior with little to no progress, and I think that like maybe don't make the announcement that you're trying to work on your spiritual journey, because when you announce things, that's when the devil really like gets busy, and he will send various things your way to test and see if you're actually going to make good on what it is that you said you're going to do. So yeah, maybe just don't announce it. If you're working on a goal, sometimes it's just best to be quiet. Like, sit back and let people see your shit. Like, you don't have to announce everything, because she got attacked a lot about her journey, because it was like she was constantly saying it, but her actions were not aligning with what her words were. When Toya mentioned that Heavenly was speaking about her weight and Heavenly not knowing her walk, like, shit really got real. Toya was talking about how she used to throw up and she took diet medications and she wasn't happy physically. And it just goes to show that you never know. Like, you never know what a person goes through. Sometimes we look at people's lives and we're like, man, they seem to have everything together, or they seem to have something that you lack. You never know what somebody's going through. Quad's face every time Mariah spoke, I was like really disturbed, because I'm like, God damn, like, what the fuck is their beef? To this day, I still don't really understand it. I just remember, like, in the beginning when the show first started, they were super, super close. And then it was like this rip happened, and they are cordial, but they have not been able to get right since. Whew. Then these Facebook Live posts. Okay, so this is my personal stance. I think that social media fucks a lot of people up, because people have put so much emphasis on social media, and it's to the point where, like, social media can get you sued in court. Social media can make you have to pay someone from going to court. Like, you have to be so aware of what you put on social media, because even after you delete that shit, it's still there. Like, they can subpoena Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like any of your social media, Snapchat, any of your social media feeds, they can get subpoenaed for court purposes, for legal purposes. And something that you put on there in the heat of anger or whatever the situation was, like, that shit can cost you not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And it's like, you have to ask yourself, like, is it worth it? So I'm a big advocate of, like, leaving shit off of social media. Like, I'm barely even on there for that purpose, because it's so much bullshit on there and it gets people in trouble all the freaking time. And I'm just like, damn, like, when, like, I'm trying to kind of pinpoint what year was it that social media took this turn where, like, it became everything. Like, it became a huge, huge fucking factor. It didn't used to be like that. But anyway, I digress. Let me keep going, because I got to get all of this review into one video. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I listed in these notes about these Facebook Live posts. Yes, I take notes. It is real in these streets. You dig? Okay, that was it. Mariah's mom shouldn't be talking shit about the other women because that's just keeping the cycle going. Mariah gets super offensive, super defensive if somebody says something about her mama, but then your mama talking shit about these women. So my thing is, and I ain't trying to be funny, but it's fair game. If your mama picks time out to say something about me and I'm trying to be respectful and like not keep your mama in it, but your mama steady putting my name in her mouth, we're gonna have a problem. Point blank period. So I think that her mama needs to stay out that shit. Like, that's Mariah, and whoever it is, they have an issue, leave it at that. You don't see nobody else mama jumping into shit. So I forgot her name. Why you feel the need to? I just don't understand. Anyway, Heavenly drew on Mariah's picture. Now the shit was funny, but it was like, for real, like, and we're like, how old? Okay. Then they was arguing in real life, and I'm just like, I can't fucking take the pressure. But you know what? I'm gonna shut my ass up because they probably getting paid way more than my ass is to act like fucking fools. A lot of the marriages this season were on the rocks, like a lot of them, and I was just kind of like, damn. Jackie, Simone, and Quad, like, it was a lot. It was really rough to see. And like, I don't like to bring up people that are no longer on the show, but I really do wonder if Lisa Nicole is sitting back like, like, y'all motherfuckers was up there dogging me and my marriage out and look at where y'all asses is at now. Just saying for a friend. When Simone opened her mouth and said that she and Cecil separated and she was filing for divorce, she said a very, very vital thing. She said we both dropped the ball and didn't do the work. And I'm here to tell you that reality TV does not help marriages stay together. It breaks them apart. I think that people will go on with the best of intentions, but it's like, no, because you like living in a fucking fishbowl. Everybody know you. Everybody know your business. It's just not a good look. Bam. Switch them notes real quick. When Simone said that that Cecil had been emotionally unavailable for 10 years, I was like, God damn, like a full decade of like emotionally unavailable. That's a long ass time to go without some of your needs being met. And she was so stoic when she was speaking about it. Like, like, fuck what y'all talking about. I hear you, but fuck what you talking about. This is what the fuck it is. And I don't know if anyone else peeped this, but did you see how Heavenly asked her, did she feel as if the show contributed to her divorce? Because I'm telling you, if Simone would have said yes, Heavenly would have been like, no, I'm not signing a contract for another year, because she is committed to her marriage. She is committed to her husband, and she's real big on seeing that marriages last. She was not going to allow that show to ruin her marriage, and I'm with her on that. Like, this is a check, but at the end of the day, would you rather have a check, or would you rather have your partner, especially if you got a good one? And I don't care what nobody say, Dr. Heavenly got a good one in Damon. Like, Damon ass, we see you, boo, because like he stepped up in this whole episode. It was like really refreshing to see. Everything that he said was on point, and people need to really like take heed. Like, people, he sit back and he quiet, but when he open his mouth, it's like, we see you, Damon. We see you. I think them adding the men's discussion was definitely a good thing. It was nice to see all of the men just in their element without the women, which we always see when they're filming, but just like for them to have an open and candid conversation, and they included it in the reunion. I thought that was a really good look. Eugene lost 40 pounds. I was like, come on now. Write the vision. Make it plain. He was like, I ain't finna keep having no high blood pressure. I'm with you, boo. I'm with you. I see you. I see you with this health and fitness goal. And I also see why Greg was so like for a man cheating if he felt like he wasn't getting what he needed at home. Yeah. Damon again for the win when he said divorce is a win for Satan. Some people might disagree, but I do agree with him in saying that if the marriage is put together by God, if the marriage is put together by God and both people are doing the work that they need to do to maintain the marriage, then divorce definitely is a win for Satan. So let me preface it by saying those two things. He also was right in saying that there's strength in family. And I bet you Heavenly gave it to his ass real good after the reunion. Like, all of this, all of this. Because she was just looking at him, smiling, and then she held his hand. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Quad and Greg, I think their relationship is on life support. I really kind of want to see how things play out next season. If they're on the show, if they're still together, like what the status is. Is she budging on having a baby? Because that's really like a big thing, and it has been for 5 years. And I just think at this point he's tired. He's just kind of like you ain't gonna give me a baby, but you don't want to say it. Like, you're gonna keep stringing me along. And I don't want to put this out there, but from the looks of things, it appears that Quad kind of used Dr. G. I think she used him to get what she wanted, to get what she could out of the situation. She wants to get a little bit of notoriety. She wants to put her name out there. But I don't think she ever had any intentions of giving him a baby. Now, I could be wrong because I am not in their household, but that's just how the situation appears. During the whole reunion, Contessa's faces were fucking priceless. I was laughing like the entire time. Every time they zoomed in on her, I'm like, God damn, her faces were hilarious. And then the truth came out about Quad's anger. So even though Dr. G said that he didn't cheat with that woman, the fact that you went to a hotel, like, what was y'all going to do? Ain't nobody going to exercise at the hotel. You ain't going to eat dinner at the hotel. You definitely ain't, shit, you ain't doing nothing but trying to boop, boop. You trying to get in them draws. And then he's talking some, oh, he had to change your heart. Like, this how I was like this when he said that, like, really? Really? After that, it did seem like everyone's opinions of Quad and her stance on various situations, they seem to yield and give in to, her side of things a little bit after that. But yeah, I just kind of want to see what happens next season. People can say what they want, but Toya does what the fuck she needs to do to keep her marriage together, and I salute her. She does not take her marriage lightly. She understands, I think, what it takes to keep things going. Only thing that I think she needs to work on is not embarrassing Eugene in public. Some of the stuff she say, I'm like, that could have been a conversation that y'all had in the car, or like when y'all having pillow talk. But some of the shit she be putting him on blast, where I just be like when she mentioned about him masturbating in front of the group, it was like, really? Did you have to put that man on blast like that? But they do seem to have a really good relationship. It seems to be a mutual respect. They love one another. And I think it became more obvious during the filming of the reunion. So that was a good thing. Cecil holding on to a female friend. All right, so me personally, I don't believe that men and women can just be friends. I think that if men and women are friends, there's one of three things that have happened. They tried to have a more than friendship type of situation and it didn't work out. One person is attracted to the other and the feelings are not mutual, or both are attracted in that way but are afraid to explore it because they don't want to ruin the relationship. Now, this is just my opinion. People are free to disagree as they see fit, but that's just my opinion. I don't believe that men and women can just be friends. And the fact that Cecil was holding on so tightly to this woman, and you have a wife, Contessa said it best. She was like, she's dispensable. Like, no, like there should be no discussion. If your wife is uncomfortable with the friendship that you have with this woman, end it. And he was like, oh, but like, oh, typical male shit. I was just like that was my face the entire time. But because they were both being stubborn, Cecil and Simone, and everyone was saying like, it's no way that y'all could work this out. Like, what about? And then when they were asking Simone, they said, is this woman a factor? And she's like, she's been a factor for the last 5 years. This is something that we've been arguing over. And I'm like, 5 years? That should have been some shit that came up when they were doing their therapy sessions. That should have definitely been something, or maybe it was and it wasn't being filmed, but that definitely should have like came up, because there should be no one that comes in between a person and a mate. Like, fuck that shit. Like, the person, no, it's you and your mate. And a lot of people seem to forget that, or like when times get hard, they don't honor that. No, like, No, nobody comes before your fucking spouse, and that needs to be understood and respected. And if you have somebody that is not respecting those boundaries, that is like that's making your spouse uncomfortable, bitch, bye. On both ends, the bitch can be a man or a female. That just made me mad. Let me get back to this review. Okay, going back to that real quick though. When Simone said that the woman was staying at their house for 8 days and she lived in Atlanta, what the fuck? All right, next topic. Heavenly again got her a good one. Damon's responses were on point this entire review, and I'm definitely here for it. And then I did really enjoy seeing the turn, how Simone and Cecil decided that they were going to work on their marriage and they were going to give it another go. And she did advise that she was going to call the lawyer and have the divorce papers withdrawn. So it was a really, really good look to see. I definitely salute them because they both put pride to the side. And when he started tearing up, I was like, man, okay, I think that he's going to be able to become emotionally available to her. So I think that that's a good thing. And I love that Damon and Heavenly were holding hands during this time. And it was just kind of like a nonverbal way of saying, babe, I don't ever want us to get to that point. So let's make sure that we do all we need to do to prevent it. It was just nice. I think that Andy wrapped up the reunion in a good way. I really am excited to see what happens next season. I want to see which couples are together, which couples are struggling, what's going on with all of the couples. This was a good season of Married to Medicine. They definitely brought it, and I have to salute Bravo. So, it was a good episode, good season, good wrap up. I'm here for it. I'm rambling, so I have nothing else to say on this review. I will talk to you very soon. Until the next time we speak, you already know. Stay peaceful and blessed. Bye.